This is a response to Neotropic Nine's series of videos about religion is a mental disorder, religion is a parasitic belief complex, and religion is a mind disease. We've gone back and forth for a little while now. I guess I just had some parting words for you regarding your latest video. I'm assuming that we're pretty much winding down the conversation, which I've enjoyed. We've had some good exchange of views here. It's been a good discussion. I think that some of my comments regarding your need to define religion, you took that to heart and did a pretty good job in these videos. I disagree with your definition of religion. You've basically stated that religion is belief in the supernatural, and I don't believe that that's what the definition of religion is. I can't find that in any of my dictionaries. Even philosophy of religion dictionary really doesn't define it as that. So you're basically out on your own with that definition, and that's fine. If that's what you want to mean when you say religion, that's fine. I'll go with you on that for the sake of argument if we're gonna discuss this. But obviously I just don't agree. Let's see. Your granting your definition of religion, which you asked me to do, and I will. Granting that your definition of a disorder, you tried to fit religion as a mental disorder and such, and I have to say that in your original video, that religion is a mental disorder, you run down a number of different criteria, and by your own admission, you had to skip over at least one criterion to make religion fit. So you're even when you want to use that official definition that you wanted to cite, religion still didn't fit. And for at least one other criterion, you just asserted that it fitted. You still didn't really offer any proof of that, any evidence. So even there, it's still weak. Even granting that religion is belief in the supernatural, you still really didn't meet the requirements for the definition. Is what I meant to say. So I think that's a weakness in your argument there. But the third point I wanted to make was that you point out that religion is this mind disease, a mind disorder, mental disorder, however you want to word it. And basically, what you're discounting is many people have had an experience of the numinous. They have the feeling of the divine, and okay, if you want to say that that's illusory, that's fine. But people have those sensations, have those feelings where they sense the numinous, where they sense something transcendent, and people who are sensitive to that have various ways of expressing themselves. And so I wouldn't want to call these things delusions or mind disorders or mental disorders, mind disease, whatever. I think a lot of those can be helpful. Granted, a lot of what you've said I would agree with regarding a lot of fundamentalists. I mean, let's face facts. I think you and I agree completely that creationists are, have a serious handicap if they're going to believe a literal translation of the Bible, particularly stories in Genesis. If you want to talk about a talking snake, if you want to talk about God just zapping things into existence when obviously we have very good scientific evidence to the contrary. I wouldn't argue with a religious person if they want to say that God was the first cause. That's fine if you want to say that. At the same time, I wouldn't argue with with an atheist who wanted to say, well, the universe is acausal or self-caused or without cause, whatever you want to say about it. I wouldn't argue with that. I wouldn't argue with any of them because basically those are unprovable points. We don't have evidence for them, and the beginning of the universe is a complete mystery. But like I said, I mean, we do have pretty good evidence for what happened. Whatever about the fractions of a second after the Big Bang. So beyond that, like I said, I mean, I would agree with your argument as it applies to that part of religion. But I don't see that as I don't see all religions going for that explanation, nor do I see all religions going for supernatural explanations for the way that the universe works. So we'll just have to agree to disagree there. But thanks for the discussion. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully, the points I've brought up will take you a little more than 20 seconds for you to cut through them to make them into butter. But if they're butter, that's only because your arguments are now toast.